Left blinker?
Stop filming 55 TV.
Right blinker?
Yeah.
This is our first night in Wisconsin. We're near, well, it's Grant River COE, and that's just across the Mississippi River from, I think it's Dubuque. Anyway, we spent all day driving up through Iowa, then we crossed the Mississippi into Wisconsin and camped, and we're camping here for 2 nights. It's right on the river. It's a nice campsite. The water spigots are scarce. There's several campers share a water spigot, and of course there's no sewer. And it's really laid out sort of crazy. I guess what makes me call it a nice campground is it's right on the Mississippi River. And there's just something about that river. We're getting far enough up to where sometimes I wonder if we're on a lake or if we actually are on the Mississippi, but this is not a lake. It is actually the Mississippi. It's just not as far across as we saw down toward Memphis.
Oh my God, you moved out of the way.
You can see our light camper, our open range light, straight in front of us. And you can see they're a little bit tight. It's not a problem, but most of the core campgrounds that we've stayed on this trip have been better laid out and had more room between the campers. Really were extremely spacious. Now this one is not, but still they're far enough apart that there's no problems letting your slides out. There are people fishing. See one right there. Got a nice playground. I want to include enough details about the campground in case anybody that's looking at this vlog will know what to expect when they get here. And first of all would be the water spigots that are shared. Second thing would be that they don't have full hookups, so there's no sewer. They do have 50 amp electric. And they do have a dump station that you can go past as you enter, so you can dump your tanks there. The main thing that I miss at this core site and other campgrounds along the Mississippi rivers, there's typically not a swimming area. I know there's a danger level swimming in the Mississippi River, but still I do miss that because, you know, in the summertime it's hot and the kids like to take a dip. I like to take a dip. But here at Grant River COE, there's no roped off beach area on the water to swim in. Okay, fishing on the Mississippi River. I've been reading The Adventures of Huck Finn. Huck Finn would catch his fish tonight, and he would probably catch more fish for breakfast tomorrow morning. So let's see if Preston can do that. I mean, not Preston, Lincoln. That Lincoln, he's a fisherman. Well, Lincoln and I thought that this
I
boat
know that
ramp,
we're in
the water at the boat
Wisconsin.
ramp was too
He's
shallow
fishing
to
off the
even
bank in Wisconsin.
launch a boat.
I don't know if that's
He
Iowa
stepped
on the
off
other
the dock,
side
and
or not.
we didn't
But I
think this
think
was
it is
deep enough to
Iowa.
launch a boat. But here goes one.
I know that we crossed the river from Cedar Rapids to this side of the river, and
Tail's not moving.
now we're in.
Did you break it apart?
Now we're
I
in.
think so. Oh, yeah, break it.
And now we're in Wisconsin on this side, and Iowa's on the other side. We bought some hot dogs to fish for
Sure
catfish
what he's
with.
doing.
If we'd only kept some of all that tons of meat that we threw away when our refrigerator quit working because the camper wasn't level, we could have saved some of that stuff if we could have stood the smell and had some good bait for catfish.
Well, Lincoln and I thought that this boat ramp, the water at the boat ramp was too shallow to even launch a boat. He stepped off the dock, and we didn't think this was deep enough to launch a boat. But here goes one.
Well, you can see and hear the train. That train track runs right along the Mississippi River, so if the campground's on the river, the train track's on the river, you hear them all day and all night. The boat launched.
What he's doing. Well, it's too shallow to use his big motor. He barely had it in the water, and it was still mired in mud, so he's going to use his electric motor. He may have to push off.
Well, you can see and hear the train. That train track runs right along the Mississippi River, so if the campground's on the river, the train track's on the river, you hear them all day and all night. The boat launched.
Unbelievable. Well, it's too shallow to use his big motor. He barely had it in the water, and it was still mired in mud, so he's going to use his electric motor and get on out a little deeper. He may have to push off. Unbelievable. He's got it though. Surely he's far enough out to be deep enough to use his big motor. Yeah, he's gonna try it again. Hooray. Hooray. I'm standing here thinking of that little song, getting the words mixed up. What I came up with was, row, row, row your boat gently back to shore. Merrily, 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 life is just a chore. Surely he's far enough out to be deep enough that the right words were different. Yeah, he's gonna try it again. Hooray. Hooray. I'm standing here thinking of that little song, getting the words mixed up. What I came up with was, row, row, row your boat gently back to shore. Merrily, 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 life is just a chore. Finally it dawned on me that the right words were different.